Hi everyone, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be talking about Uranus conjunct the Sun tonight, and it's happening on May 5th at midnight, so right after tonight, so not tomorrow morning, tonight. This is a reading for you now, or you can watch it later. I just thought it would be nice for us to get together and talk about this transit as a group, as a whole, do an all sign, and figure out this energy. There's a lot of eclipses going on, Mercury retrograde. In the world, there's tons of funky politics also that are crazy and weird. So I thought this energy would be nice to show you guys because it's a nice one, and it's one that's full of hope and new potentials. And so that's the intention for the reading. So basically, this is like slightly different, I guess, than another reading. This is a reading with the idea that we want to kind of get familiar with the energy of Uranus and the Sun, see what kind of pattern it's bringing. Uranus joins the Sun about one time a year, so sometimes it's twice, but most of the time, would it be twice? No, its retrograde period is too long, so it joins the Sun. Well, it could be a couple times a year if it hits a couple retrograde periods. Never mind, that's a very nerdy way to think about it. But it joins the Sun about once a year, and it's a reset point. So right now it's joining at 14 degrees of Taurus, and right in the middle of Taurus. I can't believe Uranus has already gone through half of Taurus. Since starting the channel, I've seen these big transits begin signs, and now they're finishing signs. And it's kind of like, wow, it reminds you of the time. So maybe we can talk about the astrology first, and then we'll go sign by sign. And yeah, so thank you for being here. I'm excited to do this. This was not planned, but Uranus is kind of an exciting planet. Uranus was the original god. He was the ruler of the earth in ancient times. So there's different stories about him. Sometimes he's the first god, sometimes he's the son of Gaia, sometimes he's the father of Gaia. There's all sorts of different stories. And so Gaia is the earth, but he's definitely representative of the sky. On the thumbnail you guys saw, that's Uranus. So that's why I put the thumbnail the way that it is. And so he's a powerful god. The planet, I think, is one of the more misunderstood planets. Although, yeah, it's the unexpected, right? So it's the it's kind of like similar to the physics experiment, Schrodinger's cat. So is the cat alive or dead? We don't know. That's Uranus. So you never know with Uranus what kind of energy you'll get. And that actually brings a lot of positivity and a lot of light to situations. And it brings a lot of chance. So if you feel stale at this point, if you feel like things have been stagnant, this is a really good energy. This is also a very good energy for the political things that have been going on. So things such as, Roe versus Wade, those of you who didn't watch the lives, you don't know what I'm referring to, so I'll repeat myself a little bit. I did a live for members only, but I did it for everyone, and we talked about these things yesterday, so I'll just mention them here. We talked about something called MAID in Canada, which is medical assisted being unalived. And as the same time as Roe versus Wade in the US came up, then some issues came up in Canada around this medical treatment. And so there's some issues about ethics and some of the ways that it's being practiced. So not the treatment in itself that's come under question, but how it's disproportionately affecting the poor, women, and people who are vulnerable, and they're losing their lives because they can't afford to live with their disabilities and nobody's helping them, and they're quicker to unalive them than to actually help. So it's a different situation, sort of in a different direction than Roe versus Wade, but touching upon the same principles of human rights and individual rights and the exploitation that individuals can succumb to if they're kind of vulnerable, right? So if you're feeling kind of stuck in circumstances, if the world seems too big to confront, Uranus has this energy of the revolutionary. It has the energy of confronting things, of looking danger right in the eye. So it has a lot of energy of that. Now with the sun joining it tonight, it's a bit of a reset. There's a star here called Menkar, which is one of a very famous star. And this star is correlated to disease and other things. That doesn't mean that something bad is going to transpire, but I feel like some of the issues we've been dealing with the sun and Uranus and the North Node just 8 degrees away joining, it might be giving some solution. So it's almost, think of it like a lunar cycle, like a cycle has completed and now the fresh start is done. Whenever the sun transits over a point or a planet, it just gives it life and energy. So, in this point, if there are certain things for you personally or for us collectively that are feeling tired or worn or ill or sick or anything like that, that this conjunction can break us through or approach things from a different perspective. So I think it's a good energy, and I think it's a solid one. So that's why I came to tell you the good news that it's going to join tonight. It's actually a perfect sextile to Mars right here in Pisces. And if you guys have been paying attention, Mars has been causing quite a big unraveling. I remember sorry if I'm repeating myself again for those of you who watched before, but it's just going to be short. If you guys watched my Libra full moon video, in it I said literally, I wasn't expecting it, it was a channeled message, that there was going to be disclosures and government reach for power, stuff like this, and Roe versus Wade came up. There's so much more going on. I do want to kind of ask everyone, if you know any situation that's happening in your home country, because I live in Canada, some exposure to American news, a lot of exposure to American news, but not to every country. So I'm wondering if in other places as well, if there's issues concerning women's rights coming up at this time, things that involve liquids or water, or situations that involve kind of taking power into your own hands, wielding it over others, or kind of someone trying to manipulate their ambitions over others by kind of working the system to their advantage. If there's anything like that going on, please let me know. And especially the energy that I'm picking up on is this antipathy, or like an aggressive disposition towards women. So, I'm not watching it because I'm not interested, but the Amber Heard trial. And I don't know, I heard, it seems as though people are pretty clear that she's guilty of some bad things. But the thing that I've noticed is the vitriol. So even if she's guilty, it just does seem to me like it's a lot of projection onto women. It's this, we found, like, here is our proof that they're all bad. We got one energy. So whether she's guilty or not, or whether she's done something or not, it seems as though there's a lot of people out there that are very much looking forward to condemning women and using her as a vehicle through which to validate their points. So that's what I'm seeing. And with Roe versus Wade, and in Canada with this maid situation, women are also disproportionately being affected by this. And so yeah, it's, you know, there's an element of women's rights, or almost like a energy of being spiteful towards women, or, you know, kind of misogyny, hatred of women. So without getting too feministy, I think it's important to recognize this. I did think about something, though, that's important to acknowledge. The moon right now, or tonight, will be right over Lilith. So you guys know that I don't use Lilith in my chart at this time, because she's not forming conjunctions to the big planets as she was before. It's just a pessimistic thing to talk about all the time, so whatever. But she did move into Cancer, I think, at the end of April. And so Cancer is deeply connected to the energy of women. So when you're looking at everything that's going on astrologically, and there's all this taunting energy or dark energy around, the one thing about astrology that I do notice is that on one part, there's valid observations like Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, that kind of stuff that's causing the exposure of information, or the, you know, some kinds of valid things that are being hashed out. But there's also an energy of misogyny. And Lilith, you know, in Cancer, does she make us want to hate women? Does she make people want to point and say, ooh, there's a witch, let's burn her, you know? And I'm not making excuses for anybody who's done something bad to someone else or hurt someone else at all. But I do sense there's this bandwagon jumping, especially onto women, and especially women like over 30, where there's a lot of people that, especially men, who just, when they have the opportunity, they come out of the woodwork with their pitchforks and ready to burn the witch down, right? So anyway, so I'm curious if Lilith has an influence on this. I don't want to linger on this energy, but you know, it is there. It is a presence. So we're in this hybrid space between the North Node eclipse that happened a couple days ago, and then the South Node eclipse that's happening in about a week and a half. And so the energy is, how do I say this? Two big things are happening at the same time, in my opinion, and we'll do videos specifically for the North Nodes for everyone now, not today, but in the next 2 days we'll start. And so that will tie in with our South Node video for the full moon on the 15th of May. I believe right away, I'll tell you guys flat out, this South Node eclipse is going to be a big clearing things out eclipse. So whatever's going on, and we'll talk about it by your sign, there's a lot coming that is going to be a purge. There's going to be a big purge. And I think it's necessary, but we're right in between these two energies. And so the North Node eclipse with the moon that happened a couple days ago had brought some things in below the surface. So those things had begun. But now as the moon is transiting to the South Node, we're getting this kind of tentative period, what's coming. And you should be very much looking forward into your life as to what are the themes that are upcoming. So Roe versus Wade that just came up, the Poseidon drone from Russia, the threats against the UK, that came up. There's several different things on the world scene. I'm just trying to give you guys examples. Those things are going to play out in the next 2 weeks, and they may extend past that, but we are definitely in a cycle here that some things are churning and things are coming up already. This South Node eclipse in Scorpio is very powerful, and I'll get into why later, but I just want to give you a heads up. So this sun with the Uranus is a different way through. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm an Aquarian moon, so Uranus is my favorite planet, hands down. I love it so much. I like Saturn too, but especially Saturn in Aquarius. But Uranus is my dude. Like, in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was the best time of my life. That's when Uranus was in Aquarius. It was just like, it's so good. It's such a good energy. So that's my bias. If you're asking me, like, Uranus is the man. If Uranus was a man, I'd marry him, hands down. So, you know, it's everything about it. I like the energy. So with the sun, I do think that the reason I love Uranus, let's say it that way, is that it provides antidotes, and it provides a way to address things in a different way, in a different approach, and it makes you check your biases, and makes you check yourself, and it sort of brings about a solution in a deadlock. So why am I talking about all these things together? I want to show you guys like how I'm seeing the astrology. That's why I describe it this way. So you kind of get the vibe, so you get the feels, and then you know what to look for in your own life. So there's a stagnant energy here, right? There's something that's begun with Taurus. That's great. And then we're upcoming a purge, some kind of a release. It'll be different for every person, okay. And there's a lot stirred up because of Pisces. And now there's stuff starting because of Aries. Not because of Aries, but because of the sign. And so Uranus, there could be a feeling of being overwhelmed. Let me see if I can find a card. These are my favorite cards. If you haven't been watching, I've been talking about them a lot. Maybe we can use them today again. So if you feel like maybe this is sort of the energy, these cards are actually very Uranian, very Uranus and Taurus, and I got them while Uranus was in Taurus just recently. I bought them for myself for a present, I think. It was like a birthday present or a Christmas present. I don't remember which one. No, that's kind of a piece, but anyway, hold on. I want to show you the energy of what it could feel like right now so you guys can see it. These are very visceral feeling. Okay, well, this could be it. So you see this guy's face and it's up against something bigger. If you feel like you're up against a wall, or if you're feeling like a cluster crap of energy around you, if you feel diminished in some way, and there's no, Uranus is rational, so there's no rational way of working things through or working things out, figuring out a solution with things. This conjunction is going to breathe fresh air into your life and give you a different way through. So I've noticed that people have been frustrated recently just from being tired. They're simply tired of going along, and things are a bit of a drag. And that's the last couple years, and it's the last couple years, and it's the current events, and basically it just wears on people. I'm trying to show you the plant, but I don't think it'll fit. Oh, there we go. You get a little leaf. Anyway, so if you're feeling like a cluster crap of energy has happened, then and you're up against the wall like this guy over here, this Uranus Sun conjunction can really break it up. And remember, it's a pattern for a year, and it's within the bigger pattern of Taurus. So you can look back to, I don't have my chart out. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me see if it, nope, hold on. I'm going to tell you guys when, I forget when Uranus entered Taurus. It was a few years ago. I should know this. In 2019, Uranus entered Taurus, okay. So since 2019, what's the pattern, and what's been going on, and each time the Sun and Uranus join together, it's a big deal. So that's kind of the energy. That's all I had to say about that. I hope it helps you understand it. And now we're going to get into the all signs. So this might be a bit, I'll do this. Okay. So I'm going to go faster than, it's an all sign. So I don't want to burn myself out and you guys out, but we can do it. So first card is Pisces. Hey Pisces, so you guys got your readings for members only. And by the way, earth and fire signs, we're going to do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow and the day after, we'll see how busy I am. But okay, so let's see Pisces. So I want to give you an idea of where the energy's at for you. So it's right here in the third house. That's breakthroughs with regard to your childhood, you know, breakthroughs with regard to like, and especially like things that confound you, like feelings about your childhood, how it felt, how it was. And we have the card of trial. So you've been up against some kind of pressure. Some kind of pressure has been going on. And so this Uranus Sun conjunction will really break up whatever's stagnant with regard to that pressure. Okay, so it's been feeling very stuck. Something's pulling you back to your childhood, at least as a theme or a narrative. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going back to those things and situations, but those things are reintroducing themselves. Let's take a look at your cards. So we have Hanged Man, Neptune. Okay, so in your first house, delays. You've been putting something off, and then just it feels like too much work. So you've been putting something off, it feels like too much work, and then we have the Tower. So something is not working the way that it's supposed to be or the way that it's happening. And you've been kind of, it's been a grind, and you've put it off. It's not going to work out because you're just basically not, you've been putting it off. It's gonna, the weight of the burden is going to end. It's going to be a relief. I know that sounded really dark. I wasn't thinking of it as dark. It's not a dark message. 3 of Swords. And then we have Lovers. Somebody needs to talk. Some people need, and because this is the third house is traditionally ruled by, not traditionally, but like the main chart is Gemini, which is the Lovers. You need to talk to someone. There needs to be a heart to heart about a situation. Something's been deflected for a long time. It feels like a conversation about something that pertains to your childhood, pertains to early experiences. There's a lot of love behind there, but the love is getting hurt because there's not been conversation about things. So it's going to be an elevation of love, but you have to step up to the challenge. And honestly, it feels like you're the one who's deflecting, which is the Hanged Man. So Neptune is in your first house, and this is it rules this card. And so you are the one who's been deflecting something, pushing it off, and it's causing discord between you and another person, and it's referring to your childhood, and that's the trial. So it's not so bad. The relationship is solid. The relationship is good, whatever type of relationship it is. If you're new to my channel, I just want to say hi. When I say relationship, I don't mean only love, because I fully believe that we have all sorts of relationships that are meaningful, and you can adapt that to your friendships, your family relationships, whatever kind of love you're experiencing. So yeah, good luck with that. So there's no kind of label on it, it's just relationship. Then we have Capricorn. Hi Capricorns. So earth signs are going to go tomorrow for the kind of the other reading, the members only reading. But I want to show you guys this Uranus energy. So sit with you guys with it and just kind of feel it out. So for you, it's the 5th house. This is favorable for you, especially if you have placements in the middle of Capricorn. So if you're like 10 degrees to 20 degrees, second decan, it's favorable to Sun and Uranus. And even if you're in the higher degrees of Capricorn right here, that's also nice with your North Node. If you're in the last decan, 20 to 30 degrees of Capricorn placements, there's a lot of consolidation and like the final step before you push forward towards something. There's that kind of energy going on. So that's exciting. This conjunction for you is really good. It's going to bring happiness and joy into your life. I forgot to pick a card here, so we'll do that now. It's going to bring joy and happiness into your life, improve relationships with your children. You're going to just take a fresh stab at things, power. Okay, so this is such a powerful card. So what is it? If you only have a hammer to wield, then everything becomes a nail, you know? So it's like breaking the hammer. It feels like there's been, and I know this astrologically for your sign, you've been going through working so much. You've been like so diligently working for a long time. This is a larger pattern. And there's like a level of, you've put in a lot into your circumstances, really weighed down by your efforts. And it's time to break it up a little bit more and have a little bit of fun. So this is actually one of my favorite transits for Uranus, the 5th house. It's when, if you're single, it's very likely that you'll meet someone, you know, fresh and new to date, that kind of thing. Somebody unexpected. I think that's good for your energy. Uranus is good for your energy because it challenges you. It challenges you out of your 9 to 5, out of your regular routines. And so some of it may feel a bit stressful sometimes, but I think, you know, we want counterbalances around us. So something with good humor. It's something also unorthodox and different than what you normally know. And so that's positive because you get into routines and then you keep doing the same thing and you lose track of what you've been doing. So having something new in your life differentiates reality for you, and then you start paying attention, and in fact time starts to slow down. So you're like losing time because so much is so redundant. And from the work that you do, from the heavy time investment, and Uranus there is going to throw in some curveballs for you, some different types of experiences, and that's going to give you an opportunity to like definitely, you know, have some variety, think on your feet again, you know, be present, brings that present awareness back in. So it's very nice message. And you have Jupiter at the bottom of your chart. Some of you might be going through some very significant things associated with your father or grandfathers, and of a positive nature. It could be full circle, coming into realization about things, reconciliation with parents too, or that you might be spending time with your father a lot. So father is emphasized, especially as pertaining to your kind of addressing early childhood stuff. So yeah, there's a fulfilling energy here, but letting go of one power, you're not losing jobs or anything like that. That's not the energy here, but there's a real kind of decompression of some stressful energies. Okay. So we have the Chariot, finally able to let go of some things. The download says that it seems like you've been hyper-focused on something at work, and now you're finally settled. You're emotionally settled about it. So maybe you couldn't take a vacation because you were worried that your job was not going to work out well. And now you've kind of finally figured out how to delegate and finally are able to go in a different direction. Then we have the Tower. The Tower's coming up a lot. That's Mars. So that's Mars in your 3rd house, and it's also Pluto. So Pluto's at the end of your 1st house. You've gone through a massive run with Pluto. When was it? Like 2008. So 14 years Pluto in Capricorn now. So if you're anything younger than 32, it's always been in your 1st house since you were an adult. So your life's going to change. So that's a neat energy because you've just finished your Saturn returns, and now on top of that, you're going to get that energy, a different feel, a different energy. And Pluto in the 2nd house is really good for money. So you're in for like a good decade of financial rewards for the efforts you've put in. So we have 7 of Wands. Okay, so you've changed some things about you by coming to terms with an aspect of yourself. But I don't think people expect you to be consistent. And so you might get some, resistance to your newfound freedom. So then we have the King of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries, secondary transits in fire. And then we have Six of Wands moving forward. You're so successful with this. This is facilitated through a very supportive person who's on your side. You'll work it out. This isn't a huge obstacle, but expect that some people are going to fuss and give you a hard time. So you're more independent. You're seeking joy and happiness at this time, and no, not everybody gets it because they're so comfortable with the way that things have been, which weren't at this point working for you anymore. So it's a bit of a change with that. I like this energy. So I'm shuffling here because I don't know if I shuffled enough so from yesterday. So we have Libra next. Libra's readings are done for members only, so that's cool. Hi, Libra. I'm kind of excited about your sign in terms of where things are going. So things are going well. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Okay, so we have complement. Okay, I can read. It's good. I'm a pretty good reader. Okay, so we have complement. Finding the right complement. One after the other. I think that this is a space of transition for you. I think lots ahead. I think you've been through a lot. You've established some things since the last few months. There's a lot more that has taken hold in your life and got firm and comfortable. And now be prepared to swap some things out to make it fit better. So it's almost like a puzzle. You fit the puzzle in what seems to be the right spot, but you may realize that there's a small tweak that you need to do, that two pieces kind of fit similar together, but one fits better. So you're going to make some changes and just feel comfortable with doing that, Libra. So yeah, definitely be open to doing that. Okay, so Libras, let's take a look. So it's the 8th house. So pulling the trigger, I always say that, I don't know where it comes from, pulling the trigger on some things and making a change at this time. If something has been really stagnant in your life and you have not changed yet, change may come very quickly for you now. So, and it's going to be by your creation. I also get the fact that if you're in a stagnant situation of like divorce or separation of assets for whatever reason, it could really move quickly now. So, everybody's peace to themselves and so forth. That's going to happen very, very quickly. And I want to tell you guys again, this transit is so good for you right now. Jupiter is about to enter Aries, which is your 7th house. The 7th house is the partnership house. And you're going to get a transit until September of Jupiter there. Now, Venus is already in Aries. Relationships are looking up. If you want to improve your relationships and improve your partnerships, this is the time to do it. Also, if you're single, be on the lookout for love because love could be coming to you at this time. So be on the lookout for love. You seem quite busy and like you have a lot of things going on. You're very self-directed, but it feels like two compartments. On the one hand, you're busy, you're doing your own thing, you're working hard. On the other hand, you have this relationship transit coming up. Improvement of relationships, meeting new people, and improvement of career relationships as well. So tweaking, but get to it, get to the energy. And the 8th house, Uranus, conjunction with the sun, is very much you making that decision. I sense hesitance. I sense that you're hesitant to make a certain change, or you just don't want to take a risk right now. I'll never tell you to take a risk, but take a risk if you can. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in air. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, transformation. move quickly towards something. There's a quick move towards something. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. A quick change or an improvement with an earth sign possibly. Somebody helps you or facilitates for you to get somewhere really fast. So a faster attainment of goals or the things that you want. Then we have Hanged Man, that's Neptune. So I'm getting this. Your 6th house is a bit clogged right now. So a lot of the clogged energy that we're getting, so all the stuff I talked about in the beginning and so forth, a lot of it is to do with Pisces. I love lots in Pisces. It's been a wonderful transit, once in a lifetime transit, very special, lots of special moments, amazing things, but too much of a good thing, you know, like can you just eat sugar straight by the spoonful? I'm sure many of us can, but like, I don't know if it's sustainable. So I think it's come to the point that, I'm shifting a little bit, sorry. It's come to the point that now it's good that things are moving into Aries a bit, because that Pisces energy has become stagnant. And for you, what that means is it has something to do with your day-to-day. So your day-to-day has gotten stagnant, and you can relax knowing that soon new things will come in. So very, very good energy. Okay. Then we have the World card, some kind of travel, you know, going somewhere else, or a delay in a trip, but a trip is coming and it's going to be a good one. And then we have 9 of Pentacles. There's a lot of prosperity. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of expansion happening. I just feel like very good things for you. Money coming in. When you go somewhere, there will be money there for you. There's just a lot of good around right now. There's a bit of a delay with regard to either a misunderstanding or a conflict of interest. It may be causing delays because of it. So just a little bit of tweaking, I feel, for you, Libra, and things will be good. Okay, so thumbs up from me to you about that. Okay, so next sign. Sorry. I have these they roll around, so that's what, keep on trying to get them to stay. Okay. So so we have Leo next. Leo, sun, moon, and rising. Hey Leos. Maybe I'll just keep this here. Okay. Leos, hi Leos. How are you doing? Yours is going last either tomorrow or the next day for members only. But let's see what Uranus, you have an awesome transit for Uranus. So I don't know, you get like 3 or 4 more of these conjunctions before Uranus leaves your 10th house. But this is the one right at the center of the sign. So it's excellent. And so, you know, things in your career are really popping. One thing I didn't mention for everybody who's watching, no matter what sign you are, this new moon, I didn't highlight this because there was other things to talk about. And I feel like I missed an opportunity, so I may come back to it and tell you about this. This new moon eclipse in Taurus, in Taurus here, that happened on the 30th of April. It doesn't matter because this cycle is a long-term cycle that's begun, but it's definitely really good for money. Like this was the eclipse for money. This was the eclipse for a new start. A lot of things started moving again. So, you know, things may have been stagnant, and now with the eclipse, things start. At first you don't see it, but now it's coming in. I think that there's been improvements with the stock market, and now we're going to see whatever energy needed to be cleared or figured out, we're pushing forward again. So that's good. But for Leos especially, this is very, very strong because it's your 10th house. So along the same lines of a similar energy, you're very well aligned for this. A really good start. So new things on the horizon. So you could be starting to see things, but what they will grow into, you'll see a little down the line, and it's going to be big. Okay, so we have depth. Okay, so we have depth, seeing in depth. Okay, so definitely some things coming in. I just feel as though there's great possibilities in front of you at this time, Leo. I think that there's like a lot of like reach for the stars sort of energy. I think that there's a lot of you. It feels like maybe you haven't received everything you've wanted up until this point, in terms of career or in terms of status, and now things are becoming more to your liking. And honestly, I feel like you have not been living the life you've wanted to live, especially in terms of career and money, since about 2018, 2017. So it's been 5 years or so, of this. So this is exciting for me to see for you, this eclipse, the Uranus and the sun together. It really feels like there's a lot for you in terms of where you want to be and feeling satisfied about where you're going. So satisfaction. And that's starting with this conjunction. So pretty exciting, Leo. Let's take a look. And okay, I'll say something. So I'm not here to worry anybody. But right now, this is also feeling like, so if somebody's already lost a parent, so I'm not saying somebody's going to pass it. I don't make those predictions. It's not wise to think that way. But it looks as though you may be coming into money, especially from a masculine energy, Leo. So there's really strong energy of money, and that could be an estate, or that could be through your husband. They could be alive, but they could be giving you lots of money in some way at this time. You have 6 days before Jupiter enters into Aries. So sweet spot right now. And it's a really good energy connected to the conjunction with. So somehow money facilitates where you want to go, and it frees you up. So there's some big things ahead for you. There's some big opportunities. Let's see the next message. So we see the Five of Pentacles, and then we see the 10 of Pentacles, Mercury in Virgo, and then we see the Three of Cups. A reunion with someone, making up with someone. Things haven't gone so well in the past, and now things are better. Coming back to your old group of friends. Kind of maybe saving face also with Uranus. If there's been gossip or rumors, Leo, the conjunction could be dispelling the in-depth knowledge about something. You've, outlived your reputation or whatever. So you had a bad reputation, and now you've passed it. And so now you're getting recognition. I like this energy. I didn't say this in the intro, but when I'm not gloating, but when I'm like giddy about it or whatever, it's because it's very sharp. The sun, that's the best way for me to describe it. It's sharp, it's intense, it's clear, and it's very present, right? So whatever kind of, it's a real good antidote for the Piscean energy, which is very ambiguous and kind of not grounded at times, with all these planets there, things are not clear. And so this is bringing a lot of clarity to a situation. So you might be seeing a lot of an improvement, and this could improve your relationships with people, which we're seeing here. What is the reunion about? Somebody, and I feel like the energy for you is a lot about getting back into somebody's heart, or your heart getting activated. So you're fully in the moment. Let's say something happened at work and you haven't been able to enjoy your job for a while. You're finally past that point, and your heart is warming up to it again. So you're once again present in a situation that you didn't feel so present in for a time. Okay? Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus. I feel like you need to make money, and that's something that's a pressing issue. Then we have the Strength card, which is Leo. That's your card. Hey, meow, meow, Leo. And then we have the Queen of Cups, Pisces. Somebody's welcoming you with open arms. It really feels like a making up, clarification of conflicts, of misunderstandings. That's all happening here as well. And it really feels like these are tight bonds that you have with someone or others. You know each other very well. You know where you're coming from. You know each other's energy. Okay? So that's exciting. I think I took a long time with Leos. That's okay. They deserve it. So I'm just going to pick Virgo. Hey, Virgo, let's do yours next. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Let's see what your energy's about. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's fun to do it. Okay, so okay. So if Virgos have been watching, they know I really love this transit. Uranus in the 9th house. I just think it's a long transit. It's going to be about a decade, because once it gets into the 10th house, it continues what the 9th house has started. If you're a Virgo who can move somewhere or do something different, this is a really good time to do it. This is a really good time to check your horizons and find certain paths. Virgos, you have composure. Lots of little pieces. Look at this. Lots of little pieces to consider. Lots of little pieces to consider, and lots of different things to figure out. You're figuring out how to bring it all together, and that makes sense because all of this is happening in your 9th house. So let me show you. So the conjunction of Uranus and the sun, it really feels like there's a lot of separate things going on for Virgo at this time. So this means that you might have a lot of different opportunities, little bits and pieces here and there. And so this is like, bring it together, maybe with the sun. Maybe it's gotten even a little messy, so much so you're not even benefiting from anything so much because there's like little pieces of stuff everywhere. When I say stuff, I mean opportunities or, relationships. Nothing's like cohesive and a whole. And so with the sun, I feel like you're getting a massive opportunity to bring it all together, tie it all in, and make it more concrete. I feel as though you really want to slow things down, and relationships with others are still very important. I really feel like there's a lot for you to consider about others at this time. Your relationships with others have a lot of details to them. And for a Virgo, we know that's a Virgo trait, that like hyper vigilant and looking at all the little pieces. And so with Jupiter and Neptune and Mars right there, you might be in a really involved relationship or very involved information about people around you. And just as a reminder, just in case you didn't watch the beginning, I'm going to start saying this at the beginning a bit more for the people who are new. When I say relationship, I really want to say all types of relationships. It's up for you guys to determine what kind of relationships you're in. I don't want to tell you, like some people want love, some people want friendship, for some people family is really important, for others their career is. So whatever types of relationships that are relevant this is about. But it's a very involved energy, very heavy. And whenever you have this kind of heavy quality that's going on in the 7th house, I would say that it probably emphasizes more serious relationships, so things that are deeply involving, things of the heart, very, very serious feelings towards people. And so, so that's going on. I have a feeling that there's this fracturing that's happened. It's not necessarily something broke apart, but more there's lots of little pieces to things. And right now with this sun and this new cycle, I think you're going to kind of bring it together and pick some things out. So pick some things out, Virgo. Pick what you want. Leave the rest. Take your time. I had the Hanged Man on the bottom. And also take your time in the relationship. You might be rushing the relationship a bit much at this time because you're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information, not just from the relationship, but your 9th house as well. So slow it down. and go slow, and don't react, and know that things will clarify soon about the particulars of who, what, when, and why. Okay, so let's see your cards. We have the Ace of Cups, new emotions on the table. You'll feel different things about it. The possibility of love is here. Then we have the Chariot. Very, very fulfilling time for Virgos. You're celebrated, you're loved, you're feeling the connections. And then we have Lovers, which is the card of Gemini sometimes. This is the card of Cancer. This is a very nice spread for love. I haven't seen one so sweet and so dear for a while. So Virgos, whatever kind of love you're into, whatever's going on, there's just a lot of it happening. And if you're single and you don't really know anyone for love, then maybe something's going to begin. You should try something new. That's the Ace of Cups. Really try something new. And that feeling of being overwhelmed and wanting to put it all away because it's just too much, too many details. Fight the urge, but focus on something that brings you joy and happiness, and stay away from the minutia of the details. That it almost feels like try something new. If you're getting bogged down, try something simpler, okay? And then we have the Ace of Swords. This could be some kind of move. Some of you are going to be set for a change, like I said, maybe far away, a trip far away. And then you have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Let's see. There's going to be a return of someone from the past. Somebody from, this really reminds me of, and if you're not into relationships, that's cool. But if someone from the past, it feels like an ex-boyfriend. There's this saying that like when you get over someone, when you're really happy, that's when they come back, especially men. So girls have this joke between them that, the moment that I got over him, he started coming around and snooping around, like third eye, sort of like psychic spidey senses. And this feels almost like that type of situation in which someone's you're ready to set free and go in a different path, and somebody's coming in with Three of Swords energy, which to me signifies, I'm thinking of the word in Polish, sorry, I forget. It's like regrets, or they feel like Three of Swords, they have suddenly they want to talk or something. So it's up to you what to decide to do that. But I think the idea is like whatever's separated, whatever little pieces are about, whether they're ideas or just stuff or whatever, consolidating. So if talking to them will help you to make it more centered, then that's great. But if avoiding them is also an option, because you have good things going on, Virgo. You don't owe anybody anything. That comes through really strong. This feels like a very demanding energy. Come talk to me. My turn. I want the attention. It's like, well, it feels like you've picked up yourself off the ground, Virgo, and you've done well for yourself and you're truly happy. So the question is, do you have space to entertain someone who's going to throw ideas at you and make things complicated again? So good luck with your decision. It's all going to work out, but there is definitely love there for you. So whatever it is, I hope you're having fun. Okay, so the next message is Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Taurus, hi, welcome. Let's take a look at your chart. Oops, hold on. I got to switch the chart. Taurus. So this conjunction is in your first house. Each year when this happens, you should have this marked on the calendar. And if it's your birthday today, tomorrow, whatever, happy birthday to all Tauruses. But if it's your birthday right now, this is a very special birthday. Uranus takes 82 years to go around the zodiac. So it depends on when you were born. You may not see this transit again in your lifetime. So yeah, good luck. And I hope you're doing well with, whatever's going on, and allow whatever. I'll get into the astrology of it in a sec, but we have direction. Okay. So some clear, what it tells me is that a direction is emerging for you that's crystal clear. The other thing is, and this is for all Tauruses, not just people who are born right now, because the North Node is here, it's not guaranteed that every 82 years it's going to be a conjunction of Uranus and the North Node. So the fact that it's happening together, very special, and it's coincidental. There are no coincidences, but it's a synchronicity that you're getting all this together. And what that's producing, so when you guys ask me, what does that produce? A very clear path. When people are born with these kinds of transits, these types of people very rarely come in for a reading, to be honest, because when you have transits like this, it's very often they come in for like, I don't know, but in terms of these types of transits keep people on the straight and narrow. So if you're having a baby right now, they're going to be a little firecracker. They're going to know what they want. Maybe they will have some duality in their life, but they're going to be very set in terms of which way they're going. So they don't often need a consultation with me, right? Because they have that hyper focus. So they do come in. So if you have it, don't be shy, come on in and come talk to me, but it's more rare. So, people like this, get into a job or career and then they stay in it for a long time. They may change once or twice, but they're usually pretty consistent. So they end up in a more hyper-focused direction. And so for you Tauruses, sorry, that was a little bit of a sidebar, but for you Tauruses, you're getting that energy right now. Something's pushing you very clearly towards something, and the conjunction of the Sun and Uranus is a big help, and really the eclipse started this, so this is a continuation of the eclipse energy. The continuation part of the eclipse energy applies to everyone, but for you it's specifically strong or prominent. Okay, all right. It's getting a little fuzzy. I hope you guys don't mind. It's very, very cloudy here today, so I over anticipated the amount of light that we'd have, but that's okay. So Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys are too. 7 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. Okay. I think that somebody's messy feelings, are telling you everything you need to know. So somebody's dousing a friend, particularly your 11th house, is dousing you with a lot of feelings, and it's almost like you're the Queen of Cups and you're going a different direction. It's almost the more they're reinforcing your determination and self-awareness regarding a situation. So whether it's a person or a situation, they're laying it on thick. And like the thicker that they lay it on, the clearer it is that which way you need to go. So you get more clear on things. 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo. And then we have the 4 of Cups. New opportunities in terms of career. Whatever is pulling you at this time, go after it, Taurus. And then we have the 5 of Wands. It feels as though somebody's being very overbearing. They could literally be lying to you or laying it on thick or putting a lot of emotional pressure on you. And so if you're feeling that kind of anxiety towards them or towards that situation, move your life in the constructive direction. It's making it very clear for you what doesn't work or what's not right. I think you're going to have some kind of offer that is being made. I also have a feeling that you may feel as though the situation is chaotic and the situation does not have a grounded place, something grounded or trustworthy, or you may feel like you don't have allies or, you're not received well. However, I feel as though you're not received well. However, I feel as though you have people, but it'll come in quietly. It's not that your life is up in turmoil, but you may feel as though displaced or some kind of push to the side, and there's support coming to you, but it's not from, it's from new sources, new sources, new directions. Stick up for yourself. If somebody is being overbearing or too much or putting pressure on you, go in the direction that makes sense. There's a lot of money for you in that direction. There's a lot of prosperity and hope. And that stress that somebody is bringing in, or the chaos of situations creating, is not for you. You may have to spend some time dealing with it, but it's really away from it. It's very clear you want to be away from it, and you will. Okay? So that's good. Congratulations, Taurus. Now let's see the next sign. So we have Sagittarius next. Hey, Sag. So your eclipse was probably the most subtle. And if your personal eclipse wasn't so subtle, then maybe it's because of your other transits, or maybe some of your houses. So the energy of this conjunction between Uranus and the Sun is also, how do I say this? I think, again, very similar to Taurus, actually. You'll be very clear on what you need to do, and whatever kind of mishmash of messiness around the house or whatever kind of distractions are going on, you will be able to highlight what's important for going forward, and you'll be able to identify your priorities. So that's good. So this is very similar to Capricorn energy, the power move. Okay, so, and remember, notice how the hammer and the rock are broken. So the power to break through and find another path. I have a feeling that you're pushing things aside a lot at this time, Sagittarius. I have a feeling that you're pushing things aside and just let me get the clutter out from in front of me. And it's so, it feels as though you've continued with something for a while and it's gotten cluttered to the point that you're just annoyed by it, you know, just tasks and things you need to do. And you're finally at a breaking point, and it's not a bad one. You're just kind of like irritated. And it's basically, you're going to make some kind of big move to simplify things and make things work the way that you see them working. So it's very much like a clear decision by you. Okay, so let's see the next message. We have the Two of Cups, and this is the friendship one. Friends, and it feels, especially if you have roommates, there may have been, if you have had roommates, it may have been messy, or like, emotion, like just draining. It's very likely that somebody's going in a new direction. There could also be a proposal from one person to another. It could be something as serious as a marriage proposal, but maybe one roommate to another will be saying, hey, let's move, or let's change this location. It feels like big decisions are going to be made. Oh, you're the only one who got the Sun so far, so that's good. Whatever you choose or decide will be a good decision for you, and you'll feel very strong about it. King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It feels like you have wonderful friends around you, companions, people who are watching out for you. There's good energy around you, watching your back, or just very, very receptive. Let's see the next energy. We have the Justice card, Libra energy, and then we have the Devil card, which is Capricorn energy. It's second house, not so bad. There's going to be some kind of a working out of a situation that's going to lead to good financial standing. Really high chances for new work. I feel like you're clearing the table on things, Sag. You're clearing your work. You're clearing your responsibilities. Whatever you've done or you felt you had to do, you've done it, or you've addressed it. I feel like you're pulling the trigger on something, working things out. You're no longer allowing a relationship to carry on in the way that it has. You're making a power move, you're making a big decision, and it's going to lead to financial positive outcomes. So you're making your workflow less complicated, less difficult. So I think it's good. All right, I'm going to try to make this a little bit brighter. So bear with me if you're watching live. I'm going to check in. Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching. So let's see if I can make it brighter for you guys in here tonight. Filters. I don't know if this is better. It's a little better. Okay. So now let's go for the next sign. The next sign is, we have Aquarius. Hey Aquarius, welcome to my channel. So we are going to do Aquarius next. We've already done your reading for the members only, so it's located in the description if you want to watch it for the nodes. Let's see your energy for Uranus and the Sun. Okay. Uranus? Okay. So we have prudence. Oh, that's interesting, because right away, what I was about to say before I brought this out was there may be some opportunity for some of you to buy a home. So some of you might be deciding to buy a home or wanting to buy a home or getting in on the market kind of thing. And I feel like this prudence is saying literally against that. So yes, possibly a purchase is coming or some change is coming soon. But for now, lay low and wait. I don't think you're supposed to decide. I don't think you're there yet. And I think some things will change. In Canada, the housing market has dropped 15% because of the interest rate changes. And so maybe it's going to be the same wherever you're at. This may be a good time to wait and see how things plan out. This is not financial advice, but just sit back and relax and see where things go. Okay, so hold off and wait. But overall, the conjunction of Uranus and the Sun in the 4th house, I see you really coming back around to your house, prioritizing your house. I think more than anybody else, in terms of this full moon eclipse, you're going to be already feeling what you need to do. This repelling energy of the 10th house is all over you, which means that you are already sick and tired of someone. You're sick and tired of something. You're pushing away. You already know what's up, basically. So whatever you know, I think you're sometimes things faster than other people. And definitely here, I see this coming up. So you may be pulling out of some situations or really turning your back. Until the eclipse happens, though, you may want to hold your tongue or bite your tongue and not say anything just to see what actually does happen. But I think you have a good sense to step away from the 10th house, step away from public career. That doesn't mean you're quitting your job or anything, but just you're very hesitant towards the outside world at this time, and it'll be for your own reasons. And right now, some good things are happening in your house that make it much more comfortable. Do you guys remember when Netflix came out and everybody was like, Netflix and chill, Netflix and chill? It was like everybody repeated it for like 3 years or something. And I know many of you guys still Netflix and chill, and I'm not talking about chilling like the pun. I'm talking about like relaxing at home. I feel like you're turning towards your home and that feels really right. And some good things are coming to make it feel well. Okay. So we have the 4 of Swords, rest. Yeah, for sure. It's saying, wait, rest. Oh, wait on something. It's saying, wait on something. And then we have the Justice card. Something's going to work itself out for the better. So that's a very strong message. The energy of your reading, like my intuitive take, very freeing, very it's getting better, emotionally better, freedom, lighter, easier. 4 of Cups, okay? And so 4 of Cups, some kind of, don't take the first offer that's on the table. Take your time you definitely have something on the table in the works, Aquarius, but it's saying go slow. Don't take the first offer on the table. And then we have, you're going to get, so it almost feels, first of all, I don't try to tell people what to do, but it looks to me, if you feel this way, I'll tell you what I see. So it feels as though you're supposed to delay something, delay making a move or a decision on something. And I think that the Eight of Wands is suggesting that down the line is going to, like, they'll come back with a better offer, and I want you to feel it out yourself. I don't want you to take my word for it, but if you're feeling that same thing, I hope this is confirmation. So if they ask you for, like, I don't know, hang out on Sunday and have a coffee, you're like, no, I'm not going to hang out with this person and waste my time. They're going to ask me out for dinner or something nice. So you can demand a higher standard from that in a relationship. It can be with work. You know, they come in with a lowball offer and you're like, no, I'm going to play my cards right. And then they come in with something better. You could be selling your house and they could be coming in with a lowball offer and you're like, no, and then they'll come in with more. So whatever negotiating you're doing, I think that take your time in this energy. Prudence, this card. Playing your strategy well. Even if it feels like the other thing is small, I think that it'll work out for the best. It's saying very clearly, wait and see, decide soon. Okay, so we have Cancer next. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars. Let's take a look. Hi, Cancer. So we did your reading for members only. It's in the description for the members. So let's take a look at your Uranus. So for you, this is new friends, a really fresh take on friends. It really feels as though friendships have become stagnant for you for a while. And so now with the conjunction of Sun and the North Node, you'll meet some new people who make you laugh. I feel like you've been doing a lot of thinking with the people you know. Like you've had to do a lot of mental work to be around them, which kind of becomes a drag. So I think that you'll have some very refreshing new situations. Then we have stop. I guess it's this way, like this. Or it could be like this. Stop. Stop with, I think people have been stopping you, your friends or people near you have been stopping you with some things. Look, the moon is in Cancer today through tomorrow. So that's very nice. This is very nice energy. It connects it with the Piscean and the conjunction of the Sun and Uranus, but definitely a fresh start with friends, new avenues to get through. I feel like financial things, you may be weighed down with dealing with someone at this time, like divorce and stuff. So your friends are going to be very fun and light and uplifting. And I think that you're getting more of that, just very fun, happy energy, because maybe your relationship's very complicated, or maybe there's like a lot of money at stake in terms of a separation or a divorce or an estate division. And you turn to your friends for like an easier time. It feels like, there's responsible things you need to take care of. There's responsible things that you need to do, but you take a diversion with, people you see as friends. So people with whom you have fun with, people you feel good with, and so forth. Okay. Let's see the next message. So we have the Ace of Wands, new beginning. I really feel like there's new beginnings for you, Cancer, with your friends. New beginnings. They're giving you new ways through. Fool is ruled by Uranus. So that's the transit we're talking about today, which is the Sun with Uranus. Definitely a fresh start. A friend gives you another way through. I get the ick feeling for you guys in terms of your close relationships. It feels serious. It feels weighed down. It feels like, it feels like you've been giving to someone for a while, and now you've woken up from that dream, and you're like, now it becomes a chore to give to that person. And you've romanticized giving something to someone, and you've woken up from it, and you're you're still doing it because you're a person of your word, so you continue doing what you've been doing, but there's no magic to it anymore. There's no, there's none of that romantic. And so there's a new direction for you to care about, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying you're doing something, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not saying a willful deception has happened, like somebody conned you into this, which could be true. Somebody actually conned you into giving to them and manipulated you. But just you've woken up, or maybe you just manipulated yourself, honestly, because you've romanticized being like a charity giver, to someone, and or maybe you're forcing yourself against your will towards helping someone and it feels really heavy. So I think that there's a real big push away towards friends and something new. A part of it is your trip alone, your own direction, but the catalyst is going to be your friends. There's something that you really want to do. There's something that you're good at that you really want to do, that you want other people to appreciate you for. You want to be received well in your efforts. And I think that you're going to take a risk and go in that direction. It's going to be facilitated from your friends. And it's moving away from the drab, serious situation that you're involved in. It could be your marriage. It could be your career. It could be something to do with like a serious commitment of some type. But I think it's not working out. For those of you who have traveled really far, so you're far away from home, some of you might be getting the feeling of going back home or going somewhere else now. Maybe you've taken a big risk to move somewhere else in another part of the world, and now you're feeling like it's really not working. So you might be turning towards like stop, where you something's not working and you're turning in a different direction. Okay? So I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, sorry, wrong card. So next sign we have Gemini. Hey Gemini, I've already done your reading for you guys, but let's talk about for the members only. It's linked in the description. And members, this is the Uranus, with the sun. I'm trying to get this in before the sun sets. It's getting darker. We have very thick clouds. It's a very weird May here. Very weird, very like rainy and cold year, which is fine, but it is darker than expected. Okay, so you have the 12th house, Uranus Sun combination, and then you have complement again, tweaking and trying different things and improving on them, trying different varieties. You might be going through a lot of changes right now. With this complement card, you might be going through a lot of changes, and there may be a lot of outwardly shifts in your life at this time that are seemingly incongruent with each other, like they're coming from different places, but they're actually they lead to a purpose. You may be experiencing like changes to what's going on around you, meaning you think things are happening one way and then very quickly they'll change. So there's definitely a lot of quick shifts that are going to happen around you at this time. When one thing's one way and then it goes a different way, there's a lot of change in the itinerary or the schedule. There's changes like that. Career opportunities, really look to your career and goals, especially throughout May and then later in September. But right now, very, very good transits for going after something. Don't allow whatever changes that are happening. The reason I'm not being specific is that the sun with Uranus in the 12th house it's something from the subconscious, and the way that I would identify it if I were you is what's out of place, what doesn't fit, because in the 12th house you're not conscious of it. So if something's changing and it's surprising you, it's likely that it's connected to this energy. So it's something from the subconscious. There's a lot of little shifts, but don't let that distract you from the opportunities in your career that are coming in big ways now, especially the next 6 days before May 10th. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. This is the Six of Swords. I put the wrong word on the card. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, definitely moving on from some things. Something's calling your name, like a path or a trip or a direction. Nine of Pentacles. There's some, you're going somewhere after opportunity. Somebody's giving you money. There's new opportunities. And with the conjunction of Uranus and the Sun in the 12th house, maybe you're clearer on things that are really important to you, or maybe you have a better feel for what's important. This is looking like really big financial opportunities, much more to do with the 10th house as opposed to the 12th house. New job, new career prospects, and then yet you want to wait. So maybe that's what it's saying, the Four of Swords. What is it in you that's holding you back from taking this? Personal, you may not be aware of it, but something involving your personal boundaries is at stake here, or something about it makes you feel uncomfortable that you're not coming to terms with yet. Big opportunities coming, but yet you find yourself waiting. This is a confirmation reading, meaning that you need to tweak and change different things around. And if you feel like this is a great opportunity, I have to take it, you don't. If it doesn't feel right, follow your gut. There's good things for you in good directions, and there's a new start ahead of you regardless. So don't sign up to the wrong things, especially if they're not feeling right. Okay? So thanks, Gemini. I hope you guys have a good night. And then we have the next sign. We have Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio, I did your guys' reading last night. For members only, it's in the description. Let's take a look at your Uranus, Sun conjunction, and then we can pick a card too. So for you, this is the romantic one, right? So this is the biggest romantic transit. You may meet someone very unexpected under this transit. Someone who you never thought you would be attracted to, or someone who you never thought that type of person you would, connect with. You're connecting with now. So it's a real eye-opener transit. And then we have the thinking card. Okay, so we have thinking. Lots of different possibilities. I think that confronting some of your ideas about partnership, I really sense for Scorpios that there's a profound friendship that you're connecting with at this time. So you're connecting with the idea of a really good friend, a really good companion. And it's important to remind you guys, sorry if this for those of you who have watched the whole thing, but let me remind you that when I say relationship, it could be friendship or a business partnership or romance and love, but it feels almost shocking to me. It feels shocking to me, the feeling, like, how do I say this? When I say it feels shocking to me, I'm downloading or I'm feeling the energy, right? And it feels like a shock that you're going through, like the profound nature of the alignment. So there's two parts of it. The depth of the connection is really there, like, wow, this person really is for me. And then there's a second layer to it, which is, wow, I never thought this type of person would be that person I would have feelings for, or this specific person in some cases. Or in some cases, if it's to do with career, you may be like, I never thought I would enjoy this job as much. There was someone painting the floor with these shoes on that lifted them off the cement. So it was a cement floor, like in gyms, they would paint the floor. And it seemed so soothing, and they kept on walking around with this contraption that painted the floor. I'm like, that would be a job that I would find very pleasing, actually, And I never thought I would have that response to like that type of job, but I was like, oh, that actually looks like a really good, peaceful job, painting floors in gymnasiums or whatever. I don't know what the demand for that is, right? I'm a gymnasium painter, but it looked cool. So the shoes would lift them up off the floor, and they would paint the floor. and the shoes would be such that they could walk on the paint, and then the paint would pool together and cover up the tracks, so it would leave no marks. It was super cool. But yeah, you might be surprised by the situation that you're in, and you're like, I didn't expect this situation, this type of situation. And the second part is that you may be feeling like you're profound. The feelings are very profound, very different than what you expected. Okay, so we have the Temperance card. Things have gone slow. There's a lot of things. A Magician, the only time that's shown up. This is prompting you to make some kind of decision. I would say don't fret about it. Don't be upset about it until the eclipse happens in your first house. And then you'll have some awareness. So you may be feeling a lot of tension leading up to May 15th because there's an eclipse happening in your first house. That's normal. So first house eclipses, normal to feel, intense with it. So go slow. And if it does not feel like it's the right time to make a decision, wait for the eclipse because it's going to change some things. We'll talk about it later. King of Cups, this could be you, whether you're a man or a woman. Very clear about your feelings, figuring some things out. It's a very lucid moment in terms of how you feel. So if you have felt unsure towards a person or situation, you feel much more clear about them now. The Towers come up. It's going to change some things, and you're going to make some decisions. And then we have companionship. I really feel like you feel very strong connection to someone. That's on mark with the 5th house and with the 7th house transit. So both this house and this house is very, very strong here. So I'm glad. I hope you're feeling that connection, and don't doubt it. Welcome it. And I hope it brings you a good time. I hope it brings you good energy. So good for you, Scorpio, and good luck. And I hope if it's career, I hope it brings you, like, you find your happy place. Okay. Let's see the next message. We have Aries, last but not least. Aries, we're going to do your members only videos last. So we just had a vote, and that's the way we chose it. So it'll be either tomorrow or the next day. And so you guys always know to watch the astrology, Aries, right? Because your chart coincides with, like, the general chart most people read with. You just happen to be aligned well with it. So you have direction here. Okay, this is a financial direction. So you have the conjunction of Uranus and the Sun is happening in your second house for the next several years while the Sun is still in this position. Well, it's not Sun, excuse me. While the Uranus is still in the second house, these conjunctions that will keep on happening every single year will be very good for your money. So suddenly, like, refocus with money, career and money. And for you, the Pluto transit in your 10th house is finishing up. So this means that the North Node coinciding with this conjunction, and in a loose aspect, with the Pluto in the 10th house, this is like very clear on what you need to do for money, for your career. And even though that these conjunctions will continue for the next several years, this is the strongest one. So this is the one because next year the North Node will have moved into Aries, or not yet. It'll be still right at the beginning of Taurus. Wait a minute. Will the Sun and Uranus will be almost, never mind. So next year when the Sun forms a conjunction with Uranus, Uranus will be at 17 or 18 degrees of Taurus, and the North Node will be right at the beginning of Taurus. So it'll be a different energy. So this is your best one. Next year's will be kind of okay, and then it's going to get less intense. So in terms of money and things, this is your times to shine is now. So really focus on money, really focus on direction and career. See, again, a lot of people are getting Ace of Wands. That's the eclipse that happened in Taurus in the first house. New opportunities, new chances. We have the Chariot. Money allows for new things to happen. You get to do something with passion because of the money that's coming in. Let's see the next message. We have the Four of Pentacles. You want to start something new. Somebody doesn't want to start something new, so you started in a new direction. Whatever you're doing, you're very good at by this point. So you've learned your skill or trade or whatever. This looks to me like a lateral move for some of you guys. Talking to someone new. It feels like somebody, if you're in the situation that in your career, somebody's not compromising or working with you towards a certain goal. I think many of you are going in a different direction. Or if you're a sole proprietor, if you own your own business, you're putting money into yourself at this time and going towards the direction you envision for yourself. There's a lot of passion behind it. There's a lot of soul behind what you're doing. And so you should do that. That's what everything that I was saying is like, just do that, do with determination. You get another good run next year with another conjunction with the Sun and Uranus, but this is the best one. So whatever's happening for you, double down on it, take it seriously, and you'll find success. There may be someone around, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, who may be facilitating that or being helpful with it. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry if the last few signs were rushed. As you can see, it's getting pretty dark. So I wasn't able to, go slowly for all of them. But I'll be back for the eclipse videos and all of that. And I hope you guys are doing well. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.